What do you do when you see an article about Pakistan? Well, if you're like most of us, myself included, you don't really bother much with it. You don't even take a look at it because it's Pakistan. What do we know about Pakistan? What do we care about what's happening in that part of the world? That's most of us. But sometimes it bears a second look or even a first look. And I'm talking about a young girl by the name of Malala Yousafzai. Malala Yousafzai, you don't know the name? Of course not. But a lot of people do, and a lot of people are going to. Apparently, this young girl made a name for herself just 3 years ago. When she was 11 years old, she wrote an anonymous blog for the BBC about the importance of education for girls. And in the town where she lives in Pakistan, in Swat, apparently it is being controlled by the Taliban. And since that time, she has become an outspoken person for girls' education. Naturally, the Taliban sees this young girl, even though she was only 11 years old, as a threat because they see education for girls as a threat. And just last week, at 14 years old, the Taliban marched onto her school bus and in the sight of all of her classmates, found this girl and shot her in the head and neck, along with 2 other girls. She survived. Malala survived. She's in a hospital and actually is in stable condition now. But of course, her life will always be in danger. Here's a 14-year-old girl whose father ran the school in Swat, where 200 schools for girls were actually closed down by the Taliban. And this 14-year-old girl is still become an outspoken person for girls' education. The Taliban says that her passion for education was an obscenity, and she has become the symbol for Western world values. Unbelievable. The Taliban sees an 11-year-old or a 14-year-old girl as a threat. Indeed she is. And the lessons for us, of course, are twofold. Number one, look what one person can do. Even a child, even an 11-year-old, can have an impact on the world. What does that say to us? And number two, as parents, what do we do to encourage our children to be able to make a difference in the world? Here's a young girl who wanted to become a doctor, and still may, who knows? And at the same time, she becomes a symbol for defiance and for the importance of girls around the world getting an education. If you're a parent of a young child, and this child wants to put her or his life in danger by becoming that person who speaks out for what she or he believes in, what would you do? I wonder about it myself. Would you encourage him or her to say something, to become that person, or would you say it's too dangerous? Well, it's quite a dilemma. I wonder what you think. If you have a young child and that young child actually wants to speak out, and at the same time, speaking out would make such a difference to the world, but would put that child's life in danger, what would you do? Give us your thoughts. Give us your reactions. And at the same time, remember and understand, everybody, even a child, has the potential to make a big difference. Indeed, something truly to think about.